So I have here the iFlight BumbleBee, and the one I have has the DJI FPV system on it, but is using TBS Crossfire for the radio link. And I currently have a GoPro 8 mounted to it, but I'm not using like an official hard mount here that's screwed in. It's just strapped in right here. I've ordered the one that you can screw into it from Brain 3D, but it has not come yet. But I got this a few months ago, and when I tried flying it, it was super flaky and would just drop out of the sky. And it turned out that there was a short. This was a pre-built one. There was a short in the soldering job and the wiring for the Crossfire receiver. So I took it apart. I fixed that. I also put a better strap on it, and it's good to go. And I've done a few tests, and I've been really surprised at what this drone can do. It's a 6S. It's the 6S model. And I put on anywhere from like this small 850 6S battery, 100C, and I mean, it's obviously going to be really good, but it's a short battery life because it's super lightweight. This one seems to be the ideal one. R-Line 1050 milliamps, 95C. This is a 6S, but it's fairly small, which works really well for this drone. Because you can put it right there, and it's a good balance of weight to power. But I've also tried the larger 1250, and you can see this is quite a bit larger, 6S. And even with the added weight of the size of this battery, it performed really well, and the battery lasted quite long. I could even, after a good tune, I could even do power loops and go upside down with it like I would with a normal freestyle. And this is the surprising part. I put a 4S battery on here, 1550, and it performed really well. Of course, as expected, my throttle had to be up in this range rather than this range for the 4S. But the flight time was good. We're talking like 4 minutes, and as long as you don't try to do any upside down maneuvers, and which really, this is not the kind of drone you'd want to fly freestyle with, going over trees upside down and whatnot. It's good for good footage, like cinematic footage, where you're mainly keeping it level, and it works really great for that. You don't need a lot of power to recover from like dives that you wouldn't be doing with this. But where this really shines is the padding, this foam padding, and how you can fly this inside as well as around trees and things where it'll bounce off. Now I did notice that as I was flying this in my garage, that whenever I would get close to a wall or an object, it tended to suck in to that object, and I couldn't really recover from that. So even though it'll bounce off of things, if you get too close, it will pull you in. So something to be aware of there is our 3-inch props. Something else I noticed is, like I said a few months ago when I got it and it would just randomly fall out of the sky, I was not impressed with the durability of this. Especially these yellow things here, you can see that they're splitting, some of them quite bad, and they're really hard plastic, and they're brittle, and so they will shatter. I wish it was more flexible material like this mount from Brain 3D and the material that they use, but it's super hard and fragile, and that's one of my biggest complaints about this. Yeah, so that's my review. I'm going to go ahead and do a test flight that's actually going somewhere besides just around my house. And I'm going to use the 6S 1050 milliamps from R-Line on this, and I'm going to fly with the GoPro 8 in the mountains. So I'm gonna kind of do a long range with Crossfire. I'll probably have it at like 100 milliwatts for my radio link, and I'll just use, you know, the DJI. I think it's 800 default, you know, highest level out of the goggles. So without further ado, I'm gonna go do that flight over snow and see how it works and see how it performs. So I'm a little worried. There's this fine mist falling from the sky, and the drone is definitely not protected from water and moisture. So I might wait a second here, and if it goes away, I'll go ahead and probably go up that ridge, go across, and come back down. So there's still some fine mist coming out, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and just send it. Hope for the best. Oh, didn't even see those people till the end there. That was nerve-wracking. It was hard to drop the throttle and have it come down to be close to the ground. Also, I didn't quite know where I was. so I was nervous about losing signal, so I stayed pretty high on the way back. But overall, I'm pleased. I mean, that worked pretty well. Yeah, it's my first flight out with the BumbleBee V2 in the mountains, semi-long range. Well, this wasn't the most scientific test ever, but I hope that you enjoyed the video and was able to see just at least a sample of what you can get out of the BumbleBee V2 HD version 6S with the DJI FPV system and Crossfire. Overall, I am definitely pleased, and I think that I definitely will use this for cinematic footage in the future. And please subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this. Thanks for watching.